So yesterday we named our players of the week for week 17. Now we got our players of the month. This is an even bigger category. So NFC Offensive Player of the Month went to Aaron Rodgers. He had 15 TDs with only one interception. Had a 131.9 passer rating. He went 111 for 145, which is a completion percentage of 76.6. Had 1,199 yards and a QBR of 131.9. Now, the Offensive Player of the Month for the AFC was Josh Allen. He had 15 TDs, went 129 for 184. That's a completion rating of 70%. He had 1,516 yards, and he had a 117.5 QBR. So let's start with the Offensive Players of the Month. Nate, I'll start with you.
I mean, I got nothing to say here. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, I mean, a lot of people thought he was on the decline, and when the Packers drafted Jordan Love, a lot of Packers fans were very upset about that. They thought Aaron Rodgers still had enough in the tank. And Aaron Rodgers is playing like I know you don't like him because he's in your division, but Aaron Rodgers is playing like an MVP. It don't matter if you like him or not. It really doesn't. With that said, I mean, he's playing like he's playing very hard. He's making a case for an MVP. I think he's number one in the race right now. As for Josh Allen, there's another guy that's not too far behind Aaron Rodgers. I mean, look, man, we expect this from Josh Allen. Josh Allen came into Buffalo doing his thing. He's doing his job really, really well. We expect this from Josh Allen, and to see that he's almost on par with Aaron Rodgers is just absolutely incredible. So I gotta get kudos to both men, doing a really great job.
I absolutely agree with you. I think Aaron Rodgers is the front runner for MVP this year. Josh Allen is definitely top two, top three. So when I look at these guys for the month and I looked at who they played, they really did come in clutch. Like the games that they needed to win, they really did. And Aaron Rodgers, obviously, we're accustomed to seeing that. Aaron Rodgers has been doing it for such a long time. Josh Allen, there was a lot of question, though. There was a lot of question with Josh Allen on if he was going to become this great of a player. And I'm going to be honest, when he first came out of the draft, I said to myself, I'm looking, I'm like, I don't know if Josh Allen's going to be as good as everybody says he is. And I'm going to be honest, the first season, it looked to be true. Then the second season came in, he made the playoffs, and I'm saying to myself, he's getting a lot better, but there's still that extra level that he can go, and he's definitely pushed it. We've definitely seen the best of Josh Allen. Now, another question in my mind is how long can Josh Allen keep this consistency up? Because you can have one good year. Everybody knows that. Like Carson Wentz had one great year. Got hurt, hasn't been the same since. So can Josh Allen continue that greatness that he's pursuing right now? Because if he can, we got a good quarterback who's in chance of winning a Super Bowl pretty soon. I truly believe that in Josh Allen. But as for the month, I mean, these guys really did light it up. They absolutely did. I mean, now for AFC, if you want to look at an offensive player of the month, you could have went with Derrick Henry as well.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry had a monstrous month. And I mean, it's your choice. You can pick whoever you want. But Josh Allen, I think, is a very good selection, especially the fact that considering he's a top two finalist for the MVP, in my opinion, I think he's above Mahomes.
Absolutely.
So now you prove that you are an MVP caliber player. Now the only thing you got to go prove is that you can win a championship.
Of course.
As for Aaron Rodgers, continue the great work. Obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of Aaron Rodgers. He is a Green Bay Packer. He is a Green Bay Packer, and I am a Minnesota Viking fan. So I mean, but I can't argue with the stats that he has been producing this month. They have just been insanely incredible. I didn't expect this out of Aaron Rodgers. I thought that he was definitely on the decline, like a lot of people thought. But then they drafted Jordan Love, and it seemed like a fire was lit up inside of him, and he ended up torching the season.
Yeah.
So I don't really have no problem with the offensive players of the month. Congratulations to both of them. Now let's head to the defensive players of the month. So NFC Defensive Player of the Month, and I gotta let everybody know he's also Defensive Rookie of the Month. Was Chase Young. He had 17 tackles, 3 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. He had 3 passes defended, 2 forced fumbles, and one of those fumbles was a defensive TD, and he had 3 fumble recoveries. And then AFC Defensive Player of the Month went to Deforest Buckner. He had 18 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 2 passes defended, a forced fumble, and an insane 7 sacks.
Man, these guys are crazy. And Chase Young is one of the best rookies in the league. Period. He's one of the better defensive rookies as well. Him and Jeremy Chin on the Panthers. He's just lighted up. I mean, there's nothing else we can say. This dude wants that Tom Brady, and he's putting up the numbers to do it. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with that. I can't tell you for sure, but he's putting up numbers and he's proven that he wants that. He wants that to go. As for Deforest Buckner, I mean, he's a very big important pieces in the Indianapolis Colts defense. I mean, you got 18 tackles, and out of those 18 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 2 passes defended, a forced fumble, and 7 sacks. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. You know what I mean? That's just incredible stats to put up for a defensive player. And I think without the Forest Buckner, I don't think the Colts defense would be as good as it is.
I absolutely agree with you. I'll start with Chase Young. So Chase Young is really taking over that leadership role of that Washington football team's defense at a very young age. And that's what surprises me most about Chase Young is that he's willing to become a leader so young.
Right.
And that's what's so incredible to me. I was watching the Washington football team go up against the Philadelphia Eagles, and during the broadcast, I never noticed this. So during the broadcast, they asked John Madden, the Hall of Fame coach and obviously the Hall of Fame commentator. They asked him, when you look at Chase Young, who does he remind you of? You know who he compared him to? Ray Lewis. He said, look, and the guy was like, get out of here. There's no way. He said, look, look at him. Look at the leadership role he's taking at a young age. That's the only guy I can compare it to. Because Ray Lewis in his rookie year turned into that leader of that Baltimore Ravens team. And since he was part of it, that defense has been top 10 his whole career. Chase Young has that ability. He has that kind of like, I don't want to call it aura, but he has that it factor around him to make this defense even better. See, this defense, it has potential. It's got two of who I believe the most underrated defensive tackles in De'Aaron Payne and Johnathan Allen. It's got one of the most underrated corners in Kendall Fuller. It's got Chase Young and Montez Sweat on the edges. This is John Bostic is a very good player too. This is one of the most underrated defenses I believe in the league, and I know they're top 10, and I know people know how good they are. But
Top
but
five,
look at
I
the
would say.
players. Look at the players on that defense. All of them are underrated. All of them. So when you look at it, they had that defense already. A lot of those guys are second-year players. Then Chase Young comes in, and they have this energy around them to win. And that's what it's insane about Chase Young, is how much energy he brings to the game and to that defense. He's a leader at such a young age, I believe. And I believe, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I can see the resemblance with Ray Lewis. Not the way they play, but the way that the energy that they bring to the game. Ray Lewis was always a passionate guy. He was always a leader from when he was a college kid in his young 20s to when he became 40 years old. He's always been a leader. And Chase Young, I can definitely see that throughout his whole career if he stays healthy. Now, as for DeForest Buckner, let me tell you something. DeForest Buckner is, again, what a veteran he is. He's been playing for a long, long time, and he has been very consistent for a long, long time. To have 7 sacks in a month is insane. Think about it this way. I know guys who had a sack a week, and in 7 weeks they get 7 sacks, right? 7 weeks is longer than a month. And even 1 sack a game is incredible. For him to do this in probably about maybe 3 games, that is incredible. That means you get 2 sacks a game, and in one of those games you had an extra. DeForest Buckner, this was a guy, and you know how important he is to this defense, because when he got hit with COVID and he couldn't play against the Titans, you see what the Titans did. I think DeForest Buckner would have been a big factor in that game if he was there, but he wasn't. And because of that, I believe he was a key factor to the reason why the Colts defense didn't perform. But you look at that Colts defense, and you look at Rocky Sin, you look at Xavier Rhodes, Darius Leonard, and then you get DeForest Buckner, again, another underrated defense. The only difference between DeForest Buckner and Chase Young is DeForest Buckner's older, and he's got that same veteran mentality. That's the leader, I believe, right there, DeForest Buckner. And I'm gonna be honest, the Colts are looking like a bad team in the playoffs, man. They're looking like a real weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, I feel like them, the Titans, are definitely gonna have to square off and meet each other. I'm not sure if that's this week. I'll check it out, but
No,
I mean,
the Colts are facing the Bills.
okay, so that's going to be a good challenge for the Colts. That's going to prove how good this defense is, because we know how good the Bills' offense is. They proved it time and time again. We're going to see how good the Colts' defense is against them, and that's going to be a very good game, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. But aside from all that, congratulations to the 2 defensive players of the month, and in Chase Young's case, defensive rookie of the month as well. Now, special teams. So for the AFC special teamers of the month, we have Daniel Carlson. Daniel Carlson went 10 for 10, a perfect 100% for his field goals, and 14 out of 15 in extra points. And NFC special teamers of the month goes to Chicago Bears kicker Cairo Santos. Cairo Santos went a perfect 12 for 12, and he hit 16 out of 17 of his extra points.
Congratulations to both of them. I remember last year, Daniel Carlson was just off his game, man. Carlson was just one of the worst kickers in the league, and even though his team got eliminated from the playoffs so late in the season, he proved to turn it around. He proved to be a valuable asset to the team, especially for the special teamers unit. And he's doing it, and he did his thing. He did his job. He's perfect on field goals. He missed one extra point, but I mean, he made 14 out of 15 of them. So I mean, give him a break on that. So I got to give kudos to him. I mean, everybody has that bad season, but that doesn't mean you can't come back from it. As for Cairo Santos, I'm glad the Bears finally found themselves a kicker. I mean, this damn team has been struggling to find a kicker for years, and they finally got one. Same thing with Daniel Carlson. He only missed one of his extra points, and it was perfect for everything else. Only Cairo Santos made more points. He made more field goals, made more extra points. So I gotta give credit for where it's due. Both men did excellent on the special team unit. I gotta applaud them.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. I'll start with Daniel Carlson. Daniel Carlson got drafted by the Minnesota Vikings. He had that one game against Green Bay where he missed all his field goals, and I'm saying to myself, this guy is really a bust. Then I realized one thing. Daniel Carlson was a time project, and what I mean by that is it just took time for him to reach his potential. It took time, and he's been a very good kicker for the Las Vegas Raiders. A very good kicker, and I mean, look, I judged Daniel Carlson real too soon, and I mean, I want to apologize sincerely to him because I wasn't fair on him, and I also realized that as much as I couldn't stand Daniel Carlson like 2 years ago because of what he did against the Packers, I will say this: the Vikings could have definitely used somebody like Daniel Carlson right now. I'm being honest.
I gotta love
I don't
that.
see Dan Bailey staying this year. I don't. But it's not about the Vikings right now. But as for Daniel Carlson, he's a very key piece to this Las Vegas Raiders team. I could definitely see him being a Las Vegas Raider for many, many years to come. He's one of the tallest kickers in the league. I believe he's like 6'7" or 6'8". So I mean, when you really look at it, this is exactly what the Las Vegas Raiders needed, especially after Sebastian Janikowski left. That was obviously one of their best kickers, and he was a very key piece of that team for a very, very long time. But when he left, you kind of needed to fill that void, and I think Daniel Carlson will definitely fill that void for many years to come. As for Cairo Santos, I mean, first of all, congratulations to the Chicago Bears on finally getting a kicker. I know you had like some problems with that with Cody Parkey, and you guys, and they really haven't had like a good kicker to lean on since Robbie Gould. But yeah, I mean, Cairo Santos has been amazing this year. He's been one of the most accurate kickers this year. Again, I talk about Jason Saunders and I talk about Rodrigo Blankenship. Daniel Carlson is on that list. Graham Gano from the Giants is on that list. But Cairo Santos is a very, very good kicker. And I got to give credit to where credit's due. Even though he's a Bear, I got to give credit to where credit's due. He's having an amazing season, and he's a very key piece of the reason why the Chicago Bears made the playoffs this year. So congratulations to him. And last but not least, offensive rookie of the month. And I already said the defensive rookie of the month in Chase Young because he won that and the defensive player in general. But the offensive rookie of the month goes to Johnathan Taylor. Johnathan Taylor had 651 rushing yards. He averaged 6.7 yards per carry, had 10 receptions for 72 yards, and he had 144.6 total yards per game.
Man, did it say how many touchdowns he had in total?
It did not, but I can look it up. Hang on a sec.
I mean, let me tell you, while you do that, let me give you my thoughts. Johnathan Taylor, in my opinion, is probably the most underrated running back in the entire league. And same thing with Deforest Buckner on how he's a key piece of that Colts defense. Johnathan Taylor is one of the key pieces to this Colts offense. More specifically, the run game, of course. But I think, like I said about Deforest Buckner not being on that defense, without them, the Colts defense wouldn't be the same situation here. If Johnathan Taylor wasn't on this offense, the Colts offense wouldn't be as good as we say it is.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad Philip Rivers found that one dude in Jonathan Taylor to give the ball to whenever he needs to run it. I mean, kudos to Jonathan Taylor. Very great running back. I think he's probably the most underrated running back in the league, hands down.
Absolutely, I completely this year. So I mean, Jonathan Taylor is definitely a top 3 rookie of the year. I really do believe that.
I agree.
I believe him, Justin Herbert, and Justin Jefferson are definitely the top 3 finalists for rookie of the year. True offensive rookie of the year at least. I truly believe that Jonathan Taylor and Nino Hines have been very, very great running backs this year for the Indianapolis Colts. And it's one thing to get Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers has done a very good job. We can't discredit him. But
Right.
it's another thing to get a running game that can support Philip Rivers and make sure he doesn't throw the ball a whole 50 times a game.
Yeah.
Like I said, the running game needs to take a pressure off the passing game, and that's exactly what Jonathan Taylor's been doing. And plus, on top of that, he has been a very good pass target for Philip Rivers. So I got to give Jonathan Taylor a lot of credit. As a rookie, he came in, he did his job, he did it extremely well for a rookie, and I can't wait to see what's in store for this man's future. And the source for all of this was Grant Gordon, NFL.com digital content editor.
Mm-hmm.
And these are your NFL Play of the Month